The Truman family is stepping into the spotlight once again, and this time, the drama is bigger, bolder, and more unpredictable than ever before. EastEnders has officially welcomed back Anthony Trueman after more than 11 years away, and his return is already sending shockwaves through Albert Square. For longtime fans, it's a nostalgic blast from the past, but for the characters on screen, his presence is about to stir emotions and conflicts that nobody saw coming. The timing of his return couldn't have been more dramatic. Patrick and Yolande have just walked down the aisle for the second time, sealing their love in front of their friends, family, and the entire Walford community. It was a day filled with laughter, heartfelt vows, and the kind of joyful celebration the square doesn't see very often. Even the sun came out to shine on what seemed like a picture-perfect wedding. Guests danced, a live band brought the atmosphere to life, and for a moment it felt like happiness might actually last. But, in true EastEnders fashion, that illusion was shattered in an instant when a gunshot rang out across the square. What should have been remembered as one of the happiest days in Patrick and Yolanda's lives has now been tainted by chaos, danger, and uncertainty. Amid all this turmoil stands Anthony Trueman, the prodigal son stepping back into a world that feels both familiar and alien. On the surface, he's reunited with his father, Patrick, and welcomed back into the family fold. But beneath that warm reception lies a web of complicated emotions. Although Anthony has shared time with Patrick away from Walford, returning to the square forces him to confront just how much has changed in his absence. The family he once knew has evolved, bonds have shifted, and Anthony suddenly finds himself struggling with an unsettling sense of disconnection. He's a Trueman by blood, but emotionally, he feels like an outsider in his own home. That internal conflict, wanting to belong but not quite fitting in, sets the stage for one of the most intriguing arcs EastEnders has teased in years. Nicholas Bailey, who plays Anthony, has been careful not to reveal too much, but his comments are enough to fuel excitement among fans. He's spoken about having a fantastic time being back, praising the scripts and storylines, while promising that the drama begins almost immediately from his very first episode. His words suggest that Anthony's return isn't just a nostalgic cameo, it's the start of a long, emotionally charged journey that could reshape the Trueman family forever. Angela Winter, the actress behind Yolande, has shared how special it feels to have the whole family together again on screen. For her, filming the wedding was a moment of joy, describing it as a beautiful day that perfectly captured the warmth of the occasion. Rudolph Walker, a true EastEnders legend who has carried Patrick through decades of triumphs and heartbreaks, echoed that sentiment. He called the wedding scene spectacular, clearly thrilled to be part of such a memorable storyline. Even Nicholas Bailey admitted he was overwhelmed by the energy on set, arriving back in the middle of such a grand occasion and wanting to hold on to the moment. But for all the smiles behind the scenes, the story playing out on screen promises anything but harmony. That single gunshot at the wedding was a signal to viewers that danger is never far away in Walford. And with Anthony back in the mix, the Trueman family is facing not just external threats but internal struggles too. His journey will likely be defined by tension, identity, and the challenge of reconnecting with a father who has built a new life in his absence. EastEnders has always thrived on complicated family relationships, and the Truemans are no exception. Patrick and Yolande may appear united in love, but Anthony's arrival could test their stability in unexpected ways. Will Anthony be able to reintegrate into the family, or will his feelings of isolation drive him to make choices that push him even further away? These are the questions that will keep audiences glued to their screens in the coming weeks. And the truth is, the drama doesn't stop with Anthony alone. His presence is bound to ripple through Walford, pulling other characters into the unfolding storm. Every time a familiar face returns, it unearths buried tensions, old rivalries, and secrets that refuse to stay hidden. That's the brilliance of EastEnders. Nothing exists in isolation. Anthony's story isn't just about him, it's about how his return will reshape the lives of those around him. Fans are already buzzing online, speculating about what's next for the Truemans. Some believe Anthony's outsider status could set him on a darker path, while others are holding out hope for reconciliation and growth. One thing is certain, this isn't a temporary return. The writers are weaving Anthony back into the fabric of the show, and the family's future will never be the same again. For Patrick, this may be one of the most challenging chapters yet. After years of being the cornerstone of his family, he must now navigate the delicate balance of supporting Yolande, holding his family together, and helping his son rediscover where he belongs. For Yolande, it means welcoming Anthony back while protecting the life she's rebuilt with Patrick. And for Anthony, it's about facing his insecurities head-on, deciding whether he'll fight for a place within the family or let his isolation define him. The Trueman saga has always been one of love, resilience, and conflict, and with Anthony's return, it's stepping into a whole new era. The gunshot at the wedding was only the beginning of what promises to be a series of shocking twists, emotional battles, and revelations ones that will keep viewers talking for months. EastEnders has never been afraid to push its characters to the brink, and this time, the Truemans are at the heart of the storm. For fans who followed their journey for years, this is a chance to see the family tested like never before. For new viewers, it's an opportunity to dive into one of the most compelling storylines the show has offered in recent memory. One thing is certain, the square won't be quiet anytime soon. Anthony's return has reignited old flames, unsettled the balance, and set in motion a storyline filled with intrigue, danger, and emotion. For the Truemans, the question isn't just whether they can survive the chaos, it's whether they can come out of it stronger, or whether this is the beginning of their downfall. And with so much uncertainty ahead, one truth remains: in Walford, peace never lasts long.